So this podcast is about reading the Bible cover to cover, and every day we read the Bible following this Bible reading plan. So it takes us from Genesis to Revelation. It will take us from Genesis to Revelation at the end of the year. I'm doing this because I want to get to know the Bible more. I want to see the stories, test the theories, and question some of the things that are in there. Yeah. So um, every single day when we use this guide, we follow a structured plan of an Old Testament reading, a New Testament, a Psalm, and a Proverb. Someone says that's too much for them, but here we are following the plan. So you're welcome. You're welcome today. I hope you've been enjoying the episodes. If you're not, please watch today's episode and then subscribe if you find this valuable. Also, you can share this with those who want to know more about the Bible. But more importantly, I hope that I can ignite your interest in reading the Bible for yourself. So today is day 127, and we're going to talk about Samuel. We're done now with the Judges. So before the Judges rounded up, a baby was born, and his name was Samuel. So there's a whole new chapter opening up for the children of Israel today. Today we're going to be looking at Samuel chapters 1 and 2. We're going to start reading John chapters 5, Psalm 104, Psalm 105, and then Proverbs 14, 28 to 29. Yeah. John chapters 5, 1 to 3, 1 to 23. Okay, let's start. There's so much to unpeel back here. So I normally put my thoughts in a note, and I try to put, I recount the stories when I have to. I share my perspectives if I think there's anything there that I need to share. And then I put a Nigerian flavor into it if I have to demonstrate or dramatize what I think was going on there. So I hope you'll enjoy watching this. All right, so I titled this Samuel is Born. There was a guy called Elkanah from Zophim. He had two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. When we were little, we used to hear about Hannah and Peninnah. Peninnah made it a duty to make fun of Hannah because Hannah did not have any children. I really don't get it when you have something and you make fun of someone that does not have. So Hannah did not have any children, and so Peninnah made it a duty to make fun of her. Even though her husband appeared to love her more. So much more that if he was sharing, like if they go to Shiloh, the place they used to go every year annually, like a national holiday, and they cut up the pieces of ram or whatever it is they were eating, he would give Anna a double portion as if she had like a whole household of children, So he really loved Anna, and he would always ask her, why are you crying? Why are you so morose? Why are you so sad? Don't you love me? Is my love not enough for you? Is my love not enough for you more than 10 sons? Really, sir? Anyway, so am I not more to you more than 10 sons? Anyway, so on this particular Shiloh, Anna went to the altar. She was still heavy on her. Maybe Peninnah had said something nasty to her, like, now, wow, for you. All these people that are in this place occupying space, I want, anyway, no problem. My children, please come and eat. Your daddy wants to make sure he gets you those new toys that you saw when you traveled to Jerusalem last week. I wonder what he's going to buy for some people because they don't need anything. I can just imagine the drama. Hi, Eric. Okay. Welcome to the podcast that talks about the Bible cover to cover in 1 year. So I advertise the scriptures that we read every day, and the scriptures that we read will be in the description box below. All right, so Hannah was really heavy of heart. Oh God, you have to do something. Please help me. My mate, she keeps troubling me. She keeps taunting me. You have to help me. She must have been dramatizing and maybe falling on the ground and getting up and crying. So the priest was like, what's wrong with this one? This one is just blaming as if she's drunk. Let me go and caution her. Hey, madam, what are you doing here? This place is not for drunkards. It's too early in the morning to be drinking. Why are you acting like you're drunk? She's like, oh no, I'm not drunk, sir. My heart is just heavy. I'm pouring out my heart to God. I'm deeply of her. And it's like, oh, don't worry, God will grant you what you want. And then she said, thank you. And then she got up and then cleaned her eyes and went back. And she partied. Like, whatever the priest said to her, just gave her a type of peace. Something tells me this was the first time she was making such a drastic move to ask for a child. Anyway, come next Shiloh, Hannah was pregnant. And she had the baby. And the father threw a big party. And then when everybody else was going for Shiloh, she's like, no, I won't go yet. I'm still breastfeeding. I want to make sure this baby is ready because there was something I promised God when I was praying. I said, God, if you give me this child, I will give him back to you. I just need to be called a mother. Whether he's living in my house or not, I will give him back to you. So that baby came, and Hannah kept her promise. Weaned him maybe when he was about 3 or 4 or 5 years old. I don't know at what time they were considered okay. The priest is like, yeah, do you remember me? No. And that woman who was here like a couple of years ago, really crying, and you called drunk, is like, oh yeah, I remember you. What are you doing here? You look great. And she's like, I made God a promise that day, and I've come to fulfill the promise. Really? What did you promise God? I promised him that if he gave me a child, I'll give him back the child. Now I'm called a mother. Nobody can make fun of me anymore. And here is the child. Look at him. I brought him back. He'll stay with you and assist you. He will serve God, just like I promised God. Who does that? I keep thinking to myself, can I release my child? Ah, God, I beg. Anyway, Hannah does that. And it was a great thing. I know there was so much to learn from that story. Hannah gives up the child. Anyway, so continually, the child lives in that place and continues to grow up. Now, Eli, who was called the priest, was an old man. He had his sons, and they were called Phinehas and Hophni. It reminds me of Feb and Phinehas. You know that cartoon on Disney? I didn't even know. It was a Bible name. Alright, so Phinehas and Feb, yeah. So anyway, Phinehas and Hophni, they were like really naughty guys. They were the priest's son, and ideally they should be priestly, because one of them would end up becoming the high priest. So imagine having a high priest that is sleeping with the girls at the temple. Imagine having a high priest that collects bribe. That was what Eli's sons were doing. None of them, fit the criteria of becoming high priest. So it really upset God. So I guess God orchestrated something to bring Samuel into the temple. And so when Samuel was born, he placed it in the heart of his mother to give him away. And the mother had the courage to do so as well. They really had bad characters, and they were completely really bad role models for Samuel. But Samuel, I don't know what his mother taught him when he lived with her. Because when Samuel came on board, he didn't act like them. He wasn't swayed by them. He didn't follow in their footsteps. He just stayed behind in the temple and continued to grow up. And God was watching everything that was going on. So that's our Old Testament reading today. And New Testament is John chapters 5 verse 1. So Jesus returns to Jerusalem and goes to a place called Bethesda with 5 porches. So I'm an architect, right? I'm an architect, and I can imagine, if you see those designs of the porches way back then, I still wonder the technology that were used in building these things. The Roman Empire, these tall porches, so tall. So if you know how the White House looks today, something like that. So he goes to the 5 porches. There was a man who had been sick, lying there for 38 years. And then Jesus says, oh, who are you? What are you doing? And he says, oh, I want to get well, but I can't. Why can't you get well, sir? Oh, because I have no one to put me in the pool. You see, this pool, they say an angel visits it every year. And every time the angel visits it, somebody has to jump in. Anybody who jumps in gets healed. So no one is around. You can see I'm crippled. No one can help me put my things in the pool. Do you really want to get well, Oga? All these excuses you are giving me. Which brings to my mind that sometimes even legitimate reasons for not doing something may be considered excuses by God, because Jesus is like, I'm sick for 38 years, then the other day this guy, he entered the pool, me, I'm crippled, somebody ought to be here to help me. He's like, do you want to get well? You guys like, yes, I want to get well. He's like, all right, get up, pick up your mat and walk. What? Pick up your mat and walk. And so he picks up his mat and he walks, and then he's going, and someone was like, hey, you, are you not that guy that stays by the 5 porches? You are working, you're carrying your sleeping mat on a Sabbath day. You're not supposed to carry your sleeping mat on a Sabbath day. People of God, help me. Why would you carry your sleeping mat? I don't know. The guy that met me asked me to pick up my mat and walk. I don't know. Don't ask me all those questions. They're like, come. Who is the guy? I don't know his name. It must be that Jesus. I know. He's still going around committing mischief. We'll have to caution him that even if he wants to go around being a professional healer, he can't heal people on the Sabbath day. Let's go caution him. So he says, my father And then the Jesus, he says he doesn't know. Later on, Jesus meets up with him in the temple and he says, "You guys, and the guy healed, right? So make sure you don't do anything wrong anymore. Just go, and God will heal you, right? Don't stop sinning or something worse may happen to you." So he goes back to the Pharisees and he says, "I know the guy who healed me. His name is Jesus." They're like, "That guy breaking all the rules of Sabbath. Does he not know how important it is? We don't care whether he can heal people. Sabbath is not the day for healing people. Go call him. Let's even go and block that guy because his own is too much these days, you know." And so they go and ask us, "Come, why are you always working on the Sabbath day? Don't you know that you're not supposed to be working on the Sabbath?" Jesus is like, "Well, my father is working every day, so I have to keep working too." You know, he's breaking the Sabbath rules and he's calling God his father. You know, this is the issue I have with this Gen Z. They just don't know, because when were you born? How old are you? You're 30. You're making all this noise, calling God your father. Do you know who God is? Do you know who the creator is? Anyway, so Jesus says, "See, I can't do anything except God asked me to do it. And I'm doing everything I'm doing because I see the Father do it as well." You see, the Father loves the Son, loves me, and he shows him everything he's doing, even letting him do greater works. We're going to do greater works. This guy you're ranting about that healed him, we're going to do more works than this. So the Father is going to do greater works than this. And you will be astonished what God will do. As the Father gives life to those he raises, so does the Son give life to those he wants. And I felt like healing this guy, so I did. The Father judges no one, but he gives the Son the authority to judge, so that they will honor the Son as much as they do the Father. Not honoring the Son means that you're not honoring the Father. Let me just call the high priest. Excuse me, sir. We need to meet. Something is going on here. This guy, we can't deal with this alone. It requires a whole council meeting. Yeah, we need to say what this guy was saying. You know. So that's me dramatizing my part there. But that ends our New Testament today. That ends our New Testament reading today. So one of the things I've gotten away from this, I'm taking away from this, that Jesus really was very witty. Jesus was very bold and ready to be confrontational. Like, he could even be petty sometimes. He could even be petty. Like, he had a sharp mouth. And if he was speaking to a sinner, he'd be very kind and patient. But when he's talking to the church folk, he was very sharp-mouthed. He gave them fire for fire, you know. And I think I want to learn that attitude too. I want to become someone who is sharp-mouthed, you know. But let's leave that today. All right, so let's quickly read the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms. We're reading Psalm 105 and then Proverbs 14:28 to 29. So let me quickly go to Proverbs, because just two scriptures. Proverbs 14:28 to 29. In a multitude of people is a king's honor, but in the lack of people is the downfall of a prince. He who is slow to wrath has great understanding, but he who is impulsive exalts folly. Yeah. All right. So Psalm 105. This is a bit of a long read. It will take me like a minute or 2 to 3 minutes to read it, but I'm gonna try. It talks about the eternal faithfulness of God. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds amongst the peoples. Sing to him, sing psalms to him, talk of his wondrous works, glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who rejoice seek the Lord. Seek the Lord and his strength, seek his face evermore. Remember his marvelous works which he has done, his wonders and the judgments of his mouth. O seed of Abraham his servant, you children of Jacob his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever, the word which he commanded for 1,000 generations, the covenant which he made with Abraham, his oath to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob for a statute, and Israel as an everlasting covenant, saying, to you I will give the land of Canaan, and to the allotment of your inheritance. When there were a few in number, indeed very few, and strangers were in it. When they went from one nation to another, that's 12 says something about my current situation right now, because I feel like God is giving me something when I'm still few, you know. But let's carry on. When they went 13, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he permitted no one to do them wrong. He rebuked kings for their sake, saying, "Do not touch my anointed ones, and do my prophets no harm." Moreover, he called for a famine in the land. He destroyed all the provisions of bread. He sent a man before them, Joseph, who was sold as a slave. They hurt his feet with fetters, and he was laid in irons until the time that his word came to pass. Doesn't that tell us that sometimes God's plans can be wrapped up in very unpleasant circumstances? Until the time came for his word came that his word came to pass. The word of the Lord tested him. The king sent and released him. The ruler of the people let him go. He made him the lord of his house, the ruler of his possessions, to bind the princes at his pleasure, and to teach elders wisdom. Israel came to Egypt, and Jacob dwelt in the land of Ham. He released his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their hearts to hate his people, and they dealt craftily with his servants. Then he sent Moses his servant and Aaron whom he had chosen. They performed his signs among them and wonders in the land of Ham. He sent darkness and made it dark. They did not rebel against his word. He turned their waters to blood and killed their fish. Their land abounded with frogs, even in the chambers of their spirits. He spoke, and there were swarms of flies, and lice in all their territories. He gave them hail for rain, and flaming fire in their land. He struck their vines also, and their fig trees, and splintered the trees of their territory. He spoke, and locusts came, young locusts without number. Then ate up all the vegetation in the land, and devoured the fruits of their ground. He also destroyed the firstborn in the land, and first of all their strength. He also brought them out with silver and gold, and there was none feeble among his tribes. He spread out a Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them had fallen upon them. He spread a cloud for a covering and a fire to give light in the night. The people asked, and he brought quail. He satisfied them with bread from heaven. He opened the rock, and water gushed out. It ran in dry places like a river. For he remembered his holy promise and Abraham his servant. He brought out his people with joy, his chosen ones with gladness. He gave them the lands of the Gentiles, and they inherited the labor of the nations, that they might observe his statutes and keep the Lord. Praise the Lord. So if you've enjoyed what I've shared today, please subscribe to my channel, and then share this with other people, and turn on the notification buttons to know when next I go live. I have a couple of people now that know when I go live, so be one of them as well. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day.